interesting conversation today. We're going to be talking about frequency stations, that we are the station that emanates a frequency and receive a frequency at the same time. And I'm going to be talking about my 4 pillars to a strong mindset. I've been having the advantage to talk to a lot of different people in different stages of life, and they've been sharing with me different avenues of what they're going through, how they're getting there, and some of the obstacles that present themselves. So I'm thankful and honored that I've been able to have these conversations with individuals, that they would allow me to now have a better observation of some of the things that we can actually address. And one of the things that I really want to say, that we are a broadcasting system. Whether you can understand that or not, that is who you are. We are made of frequency. We are elements. We are vibration. They say the all is mind, the universe is mental. So because the universe is mental, it also is based upon the frequency of vibration. And that's what all of us go. You walk into a place and you may hear somebody say, "Man, I don't like the vibe right here." They feel the vibe. They can feel it within them, and they said, "Hey man, I need to exit. I need to go. I need to get up out of here." That's just a vibe that we're feeling. So understanding that, what we're going to be talking about today is how we understand that frequency station. And we are the station that receives the information and sends out the information. Our every thought, our every intention, all of our actions are frequency and vibration. All of our instinct that happens to us, that aha moment that we execute on, not execute on, the procrastination that we do, those are all frequency stations. Those are all stations that you tune into. It's just like I'm here in Columbia, South Carolina, and there's a station called the Big DM, 101.3 FM. That's a station. But if I turn it to a 103.9, I'm not going to hear the same thing on 101 at the same time. You hear one station at a time. And that's kind of sort of what we pick up on. So when we have different doubts and things of that area, that's a particular frequency station that we tune into. So we're going to be talking about how it is that we're going to be able to tune in to higher states of frequency versus being in a response level to what some call that frequency and that vibe. Because we all a frequency, we all a vibe. And they say we all a vibe, vibe up, vibe up. So what will be the thing that to help us understand that you are a frequency station? The first thing that I will say to understand that you are a frequency is to realize that the mind is the antenna and the heart is the one that breaks the code. I've been taught a long time ago that the heart can fathom things that the brain can't even think of. So the heart has a mind of its own. The heart is 5,000 times more stronger in frequency than the mind. And ancient texts like over in Kemet, they would, when you would transition, they would revere the heart, but they would yank your brain out through your nose. They knew that your nose wasn't nothing. I said your nose wasn't nothing. They knew that your brain wasn't nothing. I had a so in the highest of your frequency, where am I? We're in realm beyond this mundane, humane flesh. Yes, we are in the flesh. Yes, we are having experience, but we are so much more than that. When you realize and you recognize and you connect and you tune into a station of divinity. When you tune into a station of divinity, your frequency is different. You're no longer bogged down by the things of this world, the characters of this world, the Trumps of this world, your local politicians around the United States, what global warming is. You know, it's a shortage on water. There's all of these things are being orchestrated by different people. So we must understand that, hey, all we got to do is understanding your level of frequency. What's your highest frequency? What the highest frequency they say is love. So when you tune your station, your frequency into love, what does that look like? Your frequency. Your every thought is an emanate of the frequency that you are pulling out. And that's going to be the reciprocate, the correspondence of what you're going to be receiving back. Your highest frequency. Well, how am I able to deal with the highest frequency? I would say learn different modalities, methodologies, whether it's meditation that allows you to sit still between the breath and listen. The one thing that I have been beneficial in my life has been meditation. It has allowed me to raise heights and different rates of frequency into states to where I live in a meditative state all the time. And no matter where you see me at, no matter what I'm doing, 9 times out of 10, I'm still in this frequency. I'm still in this meditative state of awareness, of knowing, of being. It's a calmness. You know, sometimes people look at me and say, "Man, you look like you so mean. You look like you so mad." I was like, "I'm just chilling. I'm just that calm. Like I'm just looking around. Like what you want me to do? Jump around and start shouting and hollering, cussing and fighting? I don't do all of that. I did it already. The frequency too high. Well, you're on a high frequency and you're dealing with love. Small, minute things don't even bother you. You recognize those things that come in. And then you also recognize that, hey, there's more to you than you know. Because when you can understand and you're able to actually utilize ancient texts, you're able to utilize alchemy. You're able to transmute emotions. You're able to transmute mental states. You're able to transmute your own life based upon your frequency. You would raise your frequency of love to such a degree, it'd be so high that it didn't matter what comes around, it'd be like the sun shining. You just be radiating through. They say, what is the frequency? Well, everybody got different paths. For one of the things that really helped me out was really understanding myth, gods, and goddesses. They gave me an infrastructure of a mental understanding of how to communicate with my own mind and what was left around hereditary, what my ancestors left for me. They left a spiritual system of how to be in harmony with self and nature. And studying nature, you could understand God, and studying God, you could understand the nature. That's the high frequency. So your frequency station is the thing that you state every day, all day. You're emanating at a frequency. Those of you who are listening to me right now and you stroll past me is because you're in a different frequency than me. Those who have stick around and they're watching, then they saying, hey, this brother on a different frequency. And that's what we on. Peace, brother. You're awesome as well. Peace and light to all who tuning in. So we're talking about that high frequency. If you're speaking in words, right? And so every word is a radiant of a shape and a number. Every number is also is a note. It's a song. We live in a mind melody. I call it mind melody. MIND. Because in your mind, you're playing a tune based upon your thoughts. And in your thoughts, that tune, that melody that you're playing, it could be your favorite song. Yet, your favorite song can be something that keeps you depressed. That favorite song can keep you in anxiety. That favorite song can keep you in places and environments where you have outgrown. But because you like that song so much, you play it again. So that's the frequency station that you're locked into. And it's just like going from state to state. Think about it going from plane to plane, frequency to frequency. If I go to another state, the station that I normally would listen to is out of range. So what happens when you raise your vibration to a point where those old ideas and thoughts and patterns becomes out of range? You raise it up. You tuned in to a different station, and that station is all of peace. That station is all of understanding. That station is all of knowledge of oneself. That station is all about the ancestors. That station is all about energy. You're tuned into a station that empowers you versus tuned into a station of worry, tuned in the station of gossip, tuned in the station of anxiety, tuned in the station of lack. Like, even when you use the words want and need, those are all low vibration. So a lot of times you'll hear someone say they want something. I want a good relationship. You're actually tuned into a station where you're telling the universe, you're telling the cosmos that you lack the relationship that you desire because you want it. When you want something, you're speaking in something that you don't possess. The same thing when it comes to need. When you need something, you gotta have it. I need it, I need it, I need it. When you need something, you're speaking to the divine, you're speaking to the cosmos, you're speaking into this consciousness as that's something that you don't possess. So those two words, want, need, are low vibration. I also have killed the words can't, but, or try. My mentor told me a long time ago that try is just an honest lie. But is an excuse. And can't is something that you haven't decided to do. That's it. Those are simple strategies to understand that when you have people in your life that come in, they can teach you how to raise and change your station. You don't go back and change your station to something that you don't like to listen to. You've raised the vibration. You've understood that there's more to life than just the station that you once was on. Yes, I'm not denying that you may have been hurt. Yes, you could have been betrayed by friends. Yes, you could have been even betrayed by family. There's forgiveness, there's healing, there's detachment. There are spiritual laws that you can put in the text, that you can put in the context that would change your life. And you would do these things repetitively over and over again, the same way that you tune into a station that you may not even like. Imagine having thoughts every single day that does not get you closer to your desired goal, yet you tune into that station every day. Someone who tunes into anger every single day, say they want a loving relationship, yet the station that they tune into every day in their internal world, what they repetitively say to themselves all day long, is the station that they tune into. So that becomes their frequency station. Everything that you say, every intention that you have is a frequency. Every time you do something for the betterment of someone else, you're able to raise your frequency because you're doing it in a selfless way. We're saying not being a fool and let others take advantage of you. We're saying raise your frequency to a place where you understand that, hey, you know what? This is the frequency where I'm more comfortable. And you don't change your frequency or shrink your frequency because of your environment. It's because of your environment you raise your frequency. You understand that, hey, this high frequency that we own, it's the highest. It's a cosmic vibe. You a cosmic being. For you to not be on a vibration of divinity, what that mean? What that mean? Do you not recognize that you're divine? Or are you in denial that you are divine? What frequency you on? They'll tell you everything that you're not. They'll give you a history of ignorance and savagery. They'll give you a history of dysfunction. They'll give you a history of death. What is your history of self? What is your station? What do you tune in every single day when it comes to self? When it comes to you? When it comes to your internal dialogue, what you say, the station that you tune into every single day, what do you say? What station? What's your favorite station? My favorite station is LOVE, love. That's my favorite station. I tune into that station every morning, every day. What station I tune into? LOVE. Welcome to Love Station. Love number 9. So just to understand that you may be friends with someone that their frequency, their station is manipulation. And that's the frequency that they vibe on. That's why sometimes you can be around certain folks and sometimes you can't. You understand that they're vibe. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that you have changed the frequency to where you no longer interact with those things. You change your frequency. How do I change my frequency? One way you can change your frequency is eating better. Eating food of high energy, high vitamins, going outside and grounding and exercising, walking. We're talking about a frequency station. It's how you the station. So if the station is old, rotten, run down, the signal that is putting out is not going to be as strong, and the signal that is receiving is not going to be as good as either. So it's all about your station, your frequency. What frequency are you vibrating at? how are you going to bring that more in tune with what you're looking to manifest? You're vibrating on a frequency to manifest your purpose. That's why you here. That's why you listening. You stop by to say hi. What station I'm on? LOVE. I'm on that love station. And love is all powerful. Don't get it confused. Love is the most powerful essence, most powerful substance I ever interacted with. Because that's the frequency. There's nothing greater than it. There's nothing greater than it. You would say, what do you use? I use all kind of things. The Kabbalion is the one book that I use all the time because it tells you that the all is mind. It lets you know that every aspect of you not is only divine, that you all a vibration. That means that you should be able to understand the rhythm of your own mind. You should be able to understand the cause and effect of your mind. It's all right here. This changed the vibe right here. It's about $5-6 on Amazon. Do yourself a favor. It don't matter how old you are. For one whole year, this was my station. No matter what happened in my life, I was able to tune into this station, tune in right here, and I began to learn those lessons till that station became an all the time. It's the same way that they have satellites orbiting above us. That's the same reason why they have those satellites orbiting. Those satellites are orbiting for communication. They say as the satellites fall, we lost in communication because the station is gone. Everything go up, then come back down. Really, it go in and come back out. That's what they don't want to tell you. Your frequency station is in, then out. You're not looking outside. Even when you go outside and you understand love and nature at the highest spiritual degree, you understand that it all came from in the mind of the all. We are nothing but fragments of that. And so when you realize that you are divine as well, you are divine. You, the person that's watching this right now, know that you are divine. When you tune your station into divinity, do you understand? Can you relay the information that comes back to you? Are you able to decode the downloads? Everybody say, I get downloads. When I get downloads, I have to write them down. Because if I don't write them down, the day will go on and I'll forget. Now, sometimes the downloads are so impactful. Not only that I don't have time to write them down, it becomes an automatic imprint, an automatic rewiring in my consciousness and my subconsciousness. My subconscious will be rewired that my conscious accept the programming immediately. And there's some aspects of me where I have to go in and deliberately use signs and symbols to reprogram certain aspect of my mind to make sure I'm able to tune in to the highest station that I'm able to tune into to receive and understand how we may move forward in our own evolution. Because that's the most powerful thing that we can do is evolve from where we are. It's okay that you've been hurt by somebody. It's okay if he cheated. It's okay if she cheated. It's okay. It's okay, mama passed. It's okay, father passed. It's okay, grandma passed. We all have gone through that. And it all have caused static in our station. I know it did for me. Yet the highest frequency, that frequency station that you speak every single day is the most important. Because that is how you correspond to the energy that returns to you. It's what you say on a daily basis. That's going to be the most important part. What you say every single day. And that's going to be the station. That's going to be your station. And as we speak in these stations, you know, I recognize that there were times in my life where I would do things to fit in and tune into a station of low frequency to where I got myself into a lot of trouble. People dislike me very much. Some people still dislike me, and that's okay. My station has changed, so it really doesn't matter if they still like me or don't like me. That's okay. But anywho, I was hanging around people, and their station was so low that I didn't recognize what was going on. So I began to learn spiritual sciences. I began to learn the meta nature. I began to learn the Sefer Yeseda. I began to learn spiritual alchemy. I began to learn the 10 spheres. I began to learn that 22 letters, that 12 and 7. That's 7 right there. That's the quick 7 right there. So with me learning those aspects of life, me going out exercising is a huge way for you to raise your frequency station. Because we're talking about pure detoxing the body. Fasting is a great way to also, have raise your vibration when it comes to getting this information that comes from the cosmos. Because we're nothing but information that's going out and in. If they can take a gram of melanated DNA and put something 18 terabytes or something like that and download it into 1 gram and ones and zeros, and then take that same load of information and load it back to the cloud, that's the same thing that's happening with us. We are information that's emanating outward, and we are something that's receiving information as well. And that's why this frequency station is so important, that you understand who you are in this station and what that means and why you feel the way that you feel. Because the way that you feel is the station. That's the frequency that you want. Again, it's okay to actually go through these things. It's all right. You just don't stay there. You change the frequency. You raise it. You go into a state of forgiveness. You understand love. You in a state of tranquility and peace. You understand that yin and yang. I'm not saying I don't ever get angry. I'm saying when I get angry, love kicks in. That's that yin and yang. I don't say that when somebody driving on the road and they slam on the brakes, I'd be like, what in the world? I had to change this. I had to change the frequency just that fast. Because if I don't change the frequency, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get mad. Then if I get mad, then I'm just wasting my time being mad. You know what I'm saying? Wasting my time being mad for no reason. And so to really understand your frequency, I'm going to talk about my 4 pillars of having a strong mindset. 4 pillars. I claim it as 4 different ways, 4 pillars for your mindset, for a strong mindset. Self-identity. You got to know who you are. That's pillar number 1. Self-identity, know who you are. Number 2, core values and principles. Decision-making fuel. What gives you the ability to make the decision that you make in your mindset? Number 3 is operating system. Reprogramming your defaults. We all think through a default. We all think because we were programmed to believe certain aspects of our life. So in these 4 pillars, it's addressing all of those areas. Self-identity, your core values, where you make your decision, how you make your decision, your intent on making your decision. Those all go into your core values. Your operating system is what you get up with every single day that you call reality, that how you deduce information and what you call real. That all comes out of your operating system. And fourth, Lanice, is personal development, unshakable belief. To have an understanding and a belief about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're learning, that no matter what happened. I used to tell my daughters years ago when I was studying, and I would be heavy into my studies, and they was like, how you know you studying the right thing? I said, because the world could end and I wouldn't know it because I was studying. Which means if the world end in my moment of studies, then I transitioned doing one thing that I wanted to do, one thing that I have done in my life that has changed my life, which was learn. Knowledge of oneself is the only liberation. I taught that mantra to my grandkids. See, I didn't have a mantra when I was young. So to teach them a mantra of self-identity, to teach them a mantra of understand that there's nothing greater than the God within them. For young kids from 2 years old to 15 years old to know and say that every single day, and they look in the mirror and know that there's nothing greater than the God in them, then that's a pillar in life. That's a self-identity realization. It's a self-realization for you to understand that's exactly who you are. So you become what you believe, right? So in your self-identity, do you believe what it is that you see and who you're becoming? And what steps are you taking to get you closer to what it is that you have identified with? Self-identity, self-realization. Who am I? Who are you? Why are you doing the thing that you're doing? Why are you learning what you're doing? What's your why? See, that again, we're talking about tuning into a frequency station. You're tuning into stations. You're tuning into something that is going to take you higher and higher. It's all different ways, whether you study in Gnosticism, whether you understand God from the depths of love, from the heights of the unknown. You're able to travel to the heights of the unknown to where the self-realization it bewilders you because you're revealing things to yourself that you didn't even know exist. It's an identity. You're peeling back the layers, and as you peel back the layers of self-identity, you're tuning into a station of knowing who you are from a divine place. See, your mindset is something that runs. It's a systematic thing that runs. Everybody gets up and they do the same thing. So your mindset may be when I wake up in the morning, my mindset is I set internal neural intentions into the cosmos every single day. All right, that's the first thing I do. I set that out. Once I set that out, I drink me some water. These are all mindset. I drink me some water. After I do my water, I get up, I yoga, and I meditate. That's about an hour, hour and a half. After hour and a half, I do reading. Once I do my reading, then okay, now I'm prepared to get myself together. In my mindset, yoga and meditation is not something I do. It's a way of living. It's the same thing for you and your how you see yourself. How you see yourself is an everyday thing. It's a self-identity, you know. Your core values. That's number two. Your core values. What is the core of your values? What is the thing that is the very center of how it is that you make decisions? What it is that you learn, why it is that you discipline, and how you and why you stay consistent. Why is it most important for you to be consistent in your mindset? Why is it important for you to create that habit to continue to move forward and grow and shed that skin and evolve? That's what we are. We're at a time where we're raising the frequency, we're raising the bar of where we are. And that's the most important thing that we can do. The most important thing that we can do. So we're talking about, hey, write down on a piece of paper the three things that you're not only grateful for, but your goals, how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as strong? Do you see yourself as worthy? Do you write down? Because we're talking about a self-identity. If you're not able to write down how you see yourself, then you probably have a difficult time seeing yourself. So actually writing down how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur? Do you see yourself as a CEO? When you write those things down, then you have a vision about how you see yourself. Your core values. Again, we're talking about when the values are clear. How to say it? When the values are clear, the decisions are easy. When the values are clear, the decision is easy. See, when you have core values, you're not going to make decisions that goes against your core values. It's going to be the thing, it's going to be the truth within inside of that core values that's going to allow you to make decisions that's going to be the betterment for you and anyone that's around you and anyone that's inside of your circle. Your decision is going to be better for even those who are total strangers to you, you know. And define yourself in non-negotiable values. When you're dealing with your core values, they're non-negotiable. They're not something that you are able to straddle on the fence with. It's your standard of how you deal with life. It's your core values. It's the very thing that you hold on to. It's the very thing that you hold on to. It's how you make every decision in your life. Whether you call them good or bad, it's still your decision, and your decision came from your core value. And you're in this mindset, in a strong mindset, you allow your core values to be non-negotiable. It's not something that you're willing to put on a scale to weigh. There's a standard that you set forward, and that's going to be the end of that. Number three, we're talking about your operating system. Your habits run your life, design them wisely. Habits run your life, design them wisely. And I tell you, if you, oh, all right, okay, I'm back. We had a little small technical difficulty. Yeah, so we're talking about your operating system. You know, your operating system may be old and obsolete. You may be here in 2025 and we got Microsoft Edge and Brave browser and we got the Copilot, we got all of these different browsers. You may be still looking to boot up the Windows 95. That won't work. Vista, that won't work. So your operating system has to be something that is more suitable to this particular time and stage of your life. Your habits run your life. Your operating systems is your habit. Your operating system is actually how you actually break down information that you're able to utilize. It's your habit. It's everything that you do every single day, whether it's good or bad. If you get up and you don't do anything to exercise to improve your health, then that's going to be your habit. That'll be something that you cool with. If you someone said, "Hey, I'm gonna get up every day and I'm gonna yoga and meditate. I'm gonna do some type of exercise. I'll go running. I love to run." So I'm gonna run at least in the summertime. I'm gonna run in the summertime. In the winter times, I don't run. Okay. So my operating system is that's how I move. I move based upon a divine operating system. There's a natural order in divinity. There's nothing that you have to seek for, nothing you have to search for. It's already within you. It's all the programs you can ever need is already within you. We have to now reprogram ourselves based upon some system and program that we have picked up along the way. And we were all programmed with particular systems because most of us, like myself, I was raised here, born and raised right here in the United States of America. So all I knew was trauma and death. That's all I saw. They said, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." Well, I wasn't that bad where I'm from, but the operating system where I came up from, as you had to watch your back. And we all had, it was a community. Yet in that same community, there were some people that had a different operating system than those who were family and friends and those who desired to have greater aspects of life. Your operating system is how you see. If you want to change your operating system, change what you do on a daily basis. Change what you do on a daily basis. It's a self-identity. Who are you? Your core values, your decision making. Where do they come from? Who gave you the infrastructure to your core values? And how do you hold on to core values that you're not accomplishing the things in your life you desire to? Number three, operating system. It's your habits. Habits are not, you're not born with habits. Habits can be changed. Habits are learned. Habits are programs. So you can change your habits at any time you want. You can change your operating system. You can change the way that you think. For me, myself, I developed what I call weaponized thoughts. So back when I first started studying for self-identity, when I first started studying, searching for core values, because I had to change all the values that I had, searching for core values, I was able to really understand an aspect of my psyche, which I'm able to visualize, and visualization became a real huge kick to how I did. So when I was studying, because I was distracted so much, I imagined being sitting in the middle and having four snipers and four Green Berets or killers around me. Because that's what my mind was. My mind would kill anything to distract me, right? Because I'm developing a new operating system. So as I would read, I would make sure and I would make a mental intention that anything that come to distract me, you kill it, you murder it. My phone wouldn't ring, nobody wouldn't come to the house. I would just sit there and I was able to study for 2 and 3 hours. So as time went on, let's say about year, 2 years, after a while, I saw the snipers getting further and further out, and they got further and further out. And the further and further they got, the more calm and peaceful I got, and the more time that I had to actually study. And from that, after a while, I wasn't able to see the snipers at all. And so I was sitting in meditation one time, and I was like, "Yo, why can't I see the snipers?" They say the snipers are so far away that they eliminate anything and anyone that's going to give me a distraction before they even get close to me. So in my imagination, my operating system gave me always a focus that when I sat down to learn, I was never going to be distracted because I had internal resources that wouldn't allow distraction to come in. It would pew, 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 pew. They would annihilate all distraction. So in that operating system, I was able to leverage the moments that I spent reading and studying and researching. I was able to leverage that internally, that it changed my life with love. It changed my heart. It changed every relationship in my life. It changed everything. Everything. And the last and not least is unshakable doubt. Faith. Unshakable doubt. To be so focused in your vision that your personal development thrive. You thrive in your personal development. See, your personal development takes you through the stages of expansion, and you're able to peel back those layers. How do you do that? Well, you do that by constantly expanding your circle in which you are. So some people have a little golf ball consciousness. Some people have a softball consciousness. Some people got a basketball consciousness. Some people got a global consciousness. Some people got a galactic consciousness. It's all about your understanding of how you interact with the world, how you do it, how important it is to you, your personal development. Personal development is near and dear to my heart. I had a mentor years ago when I was in a particular company called Prepaid Legal. Some of you may know about it. But I was inside of this line. I don't remember the line, but my mentor, her name was Miss Nicole Kirby. If Miss Kirby, if you out there, if anybody knows Miss Nicole Kirby, let her know that I'm in search of her for just to have a conversation to say thank you. So anywho, because she changed my life forever when it came to personal development. She told me to read a book. I procrastinated, and the book that she told me to read was Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog. So if anybody they bad about procrastination, they want to wait and do things till things get right and perfect, read that book, Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog. I still have it in my library today. So she told me to read the book. I didn't read the book. She called me back about 2-3 days later. She asked me to read the book. I said, "No, ma'am, I didn't read the book." She hung the phone up on me. So I called back, no answer. I called back, I left a message. I sent a text message, no response. So my spirit said, read the book, call her back, let her know you read the book, and then move from there. So I did that. I got the book, sat down, read it, took my notes, called her back, left her a message. She called me right back. She said, "Mister, let me tell you something. Do not waste my time." She said, "Do not waste my time. This is called personal development. Either you want to do it or you don't." She said, "Do it or don't, but don't waste my time. This is personal development. This is all for you to be better. If you're not going to take the time for you to be better, don't waste my time." Do we understand each other? And see, that was the first time in my life that I ever had anyone, more or less a woman, to speak to me in such a way to say that if you're not going to be personally invested in your life, in the learning of your own life, for you to learn new skills, for you to be better in your life, don't waste her time. That shook me. It changed my life forever. And from that day forward, I always made sure that personal development is something that's you cannot shake my faith. You cannot shake my belief. You cannot shake my vision. That which I put forward, that what I share with others, cannot be compared to another. I'm not looking to be compared. And if you compare me to someone else, that means you're not intaking the information. You're being someone you're in the bleachers. You're just watching the game. Participate. More or less invest in you. If you took more time to invest in you, you got less time to be critiquing what someone else is doing along their journey. So those 4 pillars are something to a strong mindset, a self-identity, knowing who you are. That's the most important, knowing who you are. See, when you know who you are, you actually have an image. You can visualize who you are. When you know who you are, you can visualize that. When you're talking about your core values, we're talking about how you speak, your decision makings, what you're doing on a daily basis. That your intention, that's everything that you do. Your operating system. It's just like a computer. You're not going to be able to use 2 operating systems. And all of this is happening within your frequency station. You are in all of this mindset, you're putting out an energy. You're putting out a vibration. And number 4 is personal development, unshakable faith, unshakable belief. Where no one can shake you based upon what it is you're learning and why you're learning, your commitment to it, your dedication to it, your discipline to it. You're unapologetic to it. You're unapologetic for your learning. You're unapologetic for the skills, for the courses that you took. You're unapologetic for the schooling that you've done. If you're self-taught, be unapologetic about it. See, your mindset will raise your frequency. You are tuned into a station of divinity. Have to know who you are. Use signs and symbols. Here's another one. It's signs and symbols in dream work. It's all about your internal world. Here are symbols in the back. The Mitsubishi symbol. These are all ancient symbols, but they all mean something totally different. Yeah. I mean, it's all about you. It's the frequency that you on. When you see the signs and symbols in the back, those are different frequencies. Those are different portals I can go into. Those are different altered states that I can tap into, that I'm able to be one with. I go down into the abyss of consciousness where there is nothing. It's just all divine. It's just black space. and I stay committed to that. Because that's a frequency that I'm on every day, all day. If you see me, you know. And if you know, you see me. So that's just who we are. What frequency station that you're on? What are you speaking into? What you think is empty air or empty space is actually living divine consciousness. That's why our grandma used to say, watch what you say. Watch what you say. In the Bible, they talk about the tongue, how devastating the tongue could be. And they're old and ancient texts, they talking about master what you say, because what you say have power. When it comes to manifestation and visualization, it's the same thing. What you say have power. If you say to yourself, man, life is hard, I don't know what's going on in my life, I'm confused and I'm in anger and pain, you can only reciprocate that which you initiated as belief. You said your life was hard. You know, it's like someone said, oh man, I knew I was going to hit that hole. And they hit the hole. Well, how could it be any different? You just stated the very fact that you knew it was going to happen. You spoke existence into that experience. So we have to be mindful when we speak, we are manifesting. Whatever it looks like to you, you're on a frequency station. So on your frequency station, I share with you the 4 pillars, my 4 pillars. These are my 4 pillars, what I use. My 4 pillars to a strong mindset. Because see, in self-identity is a self-evaluation. Inside of your core values is the very nature of why you make your decision, how you make your decision, and why you're doing what you're doing. Because this is a mindset. This is something that's habit to you. Weaponized thoughts. My thoughts are weapons. That's why I don't use it to hurt others. Because if I think an ill thought and I speak it into this existence, somebody could really get hurt. So I don't speak ill will to others. Okay? Your operating system, what you operating on, is a divine system. Do you know the nature of divinity? Do you got the code? What they call it? Source code. You got the source code to divinity and personal development. Unshakable belief, unshakable faith. When you going doing what you're doing, be unapologetic about it. Love yourself, love life. Don't let anything get you down. If it gets you down, brush it off. It's a detach. Detachment is a huge key in forgiveness when you're talking about a new mindset. Because the old mind is going to remind you of everything that you feel comfortable with. From your eating habits to your ways of working out, to your ways of educating yourself, your mind is going to be the battleground. And that is why psychological spiritual warfare, that's what we are. And on that note, peace, love, and light. Y'all have a good evening. Peace.